What's up, everybody? I was hoping to get home early enough. I went and visited some friends for dinner that were passing through that I haven't seen in a couple of years. And I was hoping to get back early enough to do some more welding on this truck bed, but it's just about dark. It'll be dark in a few minutes. I figured I've cleared out all the videos on my phone so I can afford to take a few more. And it seems like the analytics are showing from my recent ranting series that there is kind of a niche for this. Not that it's been a slam dunk on views, but it literally provokes, antagonizes a lot of responses. And whether your channel grows or not is really proportional to the amount of interaction with the public. So since I'm trying to grow a broader audience for the kingdom of God, not that I want to preach at you all the time, because people don't want to be preached to all the time, but just a little bit of droplet here and there, and to somebody that wasn't looking for it, because I wasn't looking for it when he saved me. Dogwoods are flowering, we're starting to get leaves, and it's really perfect weather. I am balls deep in the dating game, and that's just been such an intriguing topic, because I have been online dating since like 1995. I was stationed in Hawaii back in the days before the cell phone, when you had to have literally like $1 a minute landline phone calls, so you made calls back to your family in the mainland. There was guys that would have $300-$400 phone bills, and that was a whole paycheck back in the early 2000s. Then the cell phone came out, later, but having internet it wasn't free, but it was pretty affordable, and you could communicate with your family. So it was a normal thing for everybody in the barracks to choose to get a computer and get internet, because it was so much cheaper than a phone, and it was unlimited. And so if you're sitting in a barracks, you got no car, you can't go nowhere, but you got a computer and you've paid for your dial-up 56K, you might as well get some use out of it. And Hawaii is only an hour across. The whole freaking island, Oahu, is only an hour across. So if you were talking to somebody in some, Hawaii chat room, they were never more than an hour away from you. And so guys met I met my first wife I met both my wives online, actually. I've had tons of girls that I've met on the internet. It saves you a lot of trouble. What is the point of spending $60, $70, $100 in 2 or 3 weeks to find out that you just won the favor of a girl that is totally your political opposite or your religious opposite, or has totally different plans for her life than you do? You can sift a lot of chaff and save a lot of time by just going down a roster and saying, well, which boxes do you check? So it's not a bad program in terms of time efficiency, but it's changed so much. 15 years ago was the last time I was in that world, because I met my second wife, and people weren't scared of their phones. We weren't all walking around with ADHD and super anxiety. I can't believe the amount of anxiety. I cannot believe the amount of people that are scared of their phone ringing. I'm blown away by it. And another thing that just keeps making my gears turn, it's this intrigue. I've already commented on how many really beautiful, probably mostly divorced, but there are some never married, never kids, 40-something, never married, never kids, PhD, graduate degree. I'm seeing this all the time, particularly in Nashville and Atlanta. And tons of them have houses. And I honestly think, I do remember back like 7th grade, 8th grade, when you had to start thinking about your future, or so said the guidance counselors. They convinced you that it was college or prison, okay? Guidance counselors convinced you if you didn't go to college and get a degree, you were going to be garbage. The irony is that I never finished even an associate's degree, and I've made $60,000 to $100,000 a year anytime that I kept a conventional job. And I don't have to, because my house and all my stuff is paid off. I don't have any debt. So I can work very, very little and be free. I have an unscheduled life. I have a almost stress-free life, because I'm adapted to this stress that I do have. So Yeah, we were convinced early on everybody go to college. The girls certainly did it in mass. In colleges where they were exposed to this feminist ideology that to take a man's last name was oppressive, to raise children was oppressive, that, you know, you can do everything better than him or as good as him. Now go prove it. Rah, rah, rah. And they did. They did. My hat's off to them. They did the sucky job that we had better than we could do it, us men. The women have done a better job of multitasking for 30 years alone. Most men would run away from it. They've juggled career, mortgage, parenting, child rearing. They've done it alone. But now there's this crazy thing where so they got the cart before the horse. You know, you're supposed to find the love of your life and then have a family with him, but instead they just got knocked up and raised a kid on their own. So there's a kid with no father figure. And I mean, good for them that they raised him, but, you know, so now you got this kid with no father figure, but there's a kid that's 16, 17, 20, 22. Some of these women are grandmas, freaking mamas, and they're now looking for their soulmate. They're now saying, now I want the man. The man was supposed to come first so that you'd have a support system through all of that hard, sacrificial stuff that you did. Well, but they don't need that anymore. They don't need a man to pay bills. I mean, a lot of them do want a handyman to fix stuff around the house because they don't know what they're doing and they're tired of paying the plumber and the, you know, Joe Blow, and he's charging $50 an hour or more for these little itty bitty repairs that they, when they were kids, they saw their dad do it. And so there's a lot of girls that are like, yeah, you know, you got to be handy. You need to be masculine. You need to be handy. I say girls, but I mean, these are, to some of you watching, these are old ladies. You know, if you're my son's friend, these are old ladies. But to me, some of them are pretty darn hot. Now, anyhow, the feminist thing has also made a high body count a totally natural thing for women. Sleeping around is inconsequential, nothing to be ashamed of. So women are fully taking on a man's role. There's a lot of women who are saying, heck no to marriage. If we get divorced, he could take my house. I might have to pay him alimony. I earned it. I paid for this house by myself. I'm not marrying somebody and then dividing my assets and watching my life get ruined. I worked my whole life to have it. So now the shoe's like totally on the other foot. And you got these beautiful women that are acting like, you know, playboy, handsome men. And it's just so mind-boggling. The other really detrimental thing, so the everybody go to college, everybody become a feminist. By the way, these women, poly-ENM, that polyamory, like multiple loves, or ethical non-monogamy. That's, I have multiple boyfriends. This is another outcome. You got this liberal woman with feminist viewpoints, so she needs a neutered feminist man to fill her soul in the partnership role, but she's not attracted to him. He's been emasculated. He's trapped in nice guy friend zone hell, and he does not do a thing for her sexually. He's so neutered, so emasculated, that she can say, you know, baby, I think I'd really like to spice things up in the bedroom. Like, me go get a stud with a, with a rough jawline that probably eats animals and shoots guns and has balls. And we're just not going to talk about the issues. So he's not going to talk about my triggers. He's just going to, pleasure me. And this neutered little mama's boy says, okay, baby, I understand. You do you. And I'll just sit in the corner and watch. Or you can tell me about it. That is so twisted. And so common now. Scary common on certain dating apps. Scary common. Disgusting. Buddy, if you're going to share your old lady with somebody else, just hang it up. You need to learn boundaries. You need to tell that woman no. Get out. But guess what? She's probably got the degree and the high-paying job, and you're probably a gamer living in her house. You probably went from your mom's house to your girlfriend's house, and you wax poetic about lattes and world travel and punching all your passport buttons and all that, but you don't do it for her. You're her friend. You're not her man, because you're not a man. If you're going to share her with another dude, you're not a man. You're a weirdo. So that brings me to the effect also that they kind of joined together today in the modern dating world, is that the 1990s internet porn, that's where it really started. And it exploded in the 2000s, 2010s, and now it's just so insanely rampant that everybody, right down to little kids, because they've all got iPhones, everybody, all the boys, and now even some of the girls, are addicted to porn. So you've got mouth breathers and neckbeards that can't talk to a 3, and they've been fapping off to 9s and 10s, and that's the only thing that does it for them. So they're on dating sites just throwing love at these pinup girls. The pinup girls are ever more scantily clad, and all they do is post more photos, more risque photos, and check their Tinder account every day so that they can see that the little red box on the bottom has got more and more likes and messages. They don't even read them. They're not going to respond to these guys. They don't even read them. None of them have a chance. She's just stroking her ego. So she becomes an insecure, obsessive-compulsive narcissist that is just flaunting her body and teasing all these guys. And if she ever does actually end up in a relationship with one, she cannot be corrected. Nothing that he can say will fly, because she just says, you know what? This is my truth. I can be who I want. You're out. There's 27 more that I'm willing to talk to, and there's 3,000 I haven't answered yet. And what it's doing is taking away the audience that will look at average girls. And a huge part of that audience is really pretty, but obese from sugar type women. And that's, you know, if you're one of them, honey, it's not a big problem. It can be fixed. You don't have to live in that fat suit and feel second best, or look for a guy who likes that as his weird kink. And, you know, you don't have to seek validation elsewhere because you don't look in the mirror and like what you see. You can lose that weight by just switching off of carbs and onto saturated fats. I'm not going to belabor that point. Just look in my deer blind. This is my deer blind. Go on my playlist, look in my deer blind sessions, and there's a Fat Girl 1 and Fat Girl 2. Those are the videos. I don't have any problem with fat girls. I have to have provocative titles to get people to click so that I can help them. I love you just as much as any other person. You're not my enemy. And yeah, I'm going to get the misogynist comments and whatever, but it doesn't matter, because those people that use those big words, they have small minds. They're not even bright enough to actually listen to a 7 or 8 minute video and realize that I'm trying to help. They see a trigger, they get triggered. They are anti-stoic. They're easily provoked, they react. Oh well, you can play them like a fiddle and they think they're smart, but God bless them. They need forgiveness too. What else? What else should we talk about? Dating is getting really hard because the incredibly beautiful but really detached, shallow, broken, insecure, compulsive, anxiety-riddled female is getting all of the attention, and that's sucking the attention away from the average, the mean. Probably 50 to 60, 70% of these women are good women that maybe their forehead's a little big, maybe their body's not that great of a shape, maybe their teeth are strange, their jaw, they just don't fit the typical beauty mold. And they get 1 second glance, click, nope. They get discarded like trash. Like you're shuffling a deck of cards looking for the ace of spades. And it's really not fair to the queen of hearts and the 10 and the 9 of diamonds, because they're good too. But porn addiction has ruined men from being able to control themselves. They're dopamine seeking. They think they're looking for love, but they're looking for dopamine. And it's just a shame where we're headed. I guess it's getting dark enough. You don't really need to see me anyway, but I'll probably wrap this one up here. So I appreciate your time. 15 minutes. Yeah, that's a long one. Appreciate your time, guys. God bless you. I hope I've stirred some kind of thought in you. And if I have, if you're not in the place where you want to be, and if you know there's something missing, if you've got 15 apps and you've been draining your bank account trying to talk to the opposite sex or the same sex, that you need love too. If you're looking for a connection, for an intimacy that's just been lacking your whole life, for an acceptance that's been lacking your whole life, I pray that you'd consider Jesus Christ today. Revelation 3:20, he says, I stand at the door and I knock, and if you open it, I will come into you and I will abide. I will have supper with you. I will spend time with you. And that doesn't mean he'll come in and criticize and judge. You've heard that from somebody that hasn't read the book, from somebody who doesn't know the heart of God. God wants to be reconciled to his creation. He loves his creation, and that includes you. The Lord loves you. Yes, he wants to be Lord of your life, but he wants to give you heaven for it. He wants to give you a palace. He goes to prepare a place for you, but you can't have it if you think you need to clean yourself up of your own will, if you think that you have to get in better shape, if you think that you this, that, the other. No, you just have to say, please take me. Lord, please take me. I need you. I miss you. I love you. I used to believe in you and now I don't. And now you're gone and there's an empty place in my life. That's all you have to do. It's a 100% free gift. Not 1% of it will be earned by you. And if you've slept with 150 men, if you're an OnlyFans chick who's selling your intimacy to pay the bills, to have a freaking purse you don't need, that's okay. He loves you too. He loves you too. He loves all of us. He even loves those who turn their back and are condemned to hell. And he hates that he has to do that. But he is a God of boundaries. Just like that man that you're looking for online, the one that can handle you, the one that can handle your testing and your crazy, that's a man with boundaries, baby. Nobody's got boundaries like God the Father. So if you want to feel true love, if you want to feel somebody that can contain you and hold you, check him out. Amen.